Here we are again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and
Uh,
girls of all ages. Episode 12. This time is going to be episode 12 of Gearheads
yes.
and Guardians with myself, Chuck, aka Gunner Six, and that guy over there.
What,
That's Nitro. You
what's
call
up,
him,
buddy? Rocker, how you doing, man? How's that shoulder doing?
man. You know what? Like I said, I've had this shoulder done twice. Okay,
Yeah.
and it's stronger. Even after once I healed up, it was stronger than this arm has been. Now
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the recovery, because the recovery seems a little slower, but again, it's
Mhm.
been what 10, 12 years since I had this one done. So
Mhm.
it might just, maybe it's just old age, setting in and taking a little bit taking a
Yeah.
little bit longer to heal up. But it is what it is. And but so far, man, I really can't complain. I can't complain. It's a little slower than these were, but besides that, man, it feels better even now recovering. And dude,
Right.
I'm like purple and yellow, and I'm bruised, all kinds of bruised up.
hmm hmm
Never bruised up like that before. Even all the leg surgeries I had, never bruised up like this.
Yeah.
I got bruised pretty good, but I guess it's part of the process, and I'm not gonna let it slow me down. I'm just gonna charge hard and go for the gusto,
Yeah, you have to. We're not getting any younger, man. I know I've got bad arthritis in my stuff, but I refuse to get cut on yet. So as long as I get
Right.
a little bit more life. But you
Well,
had to get yours done, man. You had to get yours
yeah,
done.
it's been a
Yours was
while,
needed. Hmm.
but there's a gentleman. I said I don't want to put his name out there because I don't know if he wants that or not. But this gentleman that I started talking to on Facebook, and he I don't he's just an everyday Joe. He's not like a motivational speaker guy and like that. But he's a prior military,
Hmm.
and he's like, Chuck, man. He said, look, you're a badass, bro. He said, you're not fragile. I said, you know what? You're right. Damn it, you're right. Because I'm always listening to the doctors. Oh, don't do this. Don't do
Hmm.
that. Easy, don't. Look, man. I didn't listen to him all the times I got hurt before I joined the Army. I didn't listen to him while I was in the Army, and now I am.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, you got to listen to your body to heal, man. I mean, that doctors know the best, but your body knows even better. So,
Exactly. So,
yep.
I'll take it easy. I don't want to go in there all, acting like nothing's wrong with me because that's
Hmm.
not the fact. But I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to baby it either. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
of course.
all right, Mikey,
Good
what's
stuff.
up?
Mike in the house, man. You know what's that? The whole in for those that chime in or and read, listen to this later on. Last week was a crazy fluke, man. We crossed a couple lines, didn't pay attention, but you know what? We got it right. So we're gonna try this again. This is
Right.
for all those that come back. We
We're going to
appreciate
talk
those.
about things. We're not going to illustrate.
We're not going to illustrate. No, no.
That will be for a different channel at a different time. But anyways, guys, I know I want to start off and let y'all know 988. If you're contemplating things, man, don't think you're alone. Don't think that you're out
Yeah,
there by yourself, and definitely don't think that people don't care.
yeah.
We do. All right, 988 option 1, man. Reach out, and there's here. Even do this. I'll even put this up here for you.
Yeah,
Also,
it,
right here, you can
it's
email us right there at Gearheads and Guardians, right there on the screen, right down there,
yeah.
right over there.
I was this past weekend we didn't get to race Landon race, but I was at the track and during intermission I put out about all of our charities and veterans and stuff like that, and I even said it too, listen, just listen to people, be available. If you know someone that's you know, in this situation, just let them know they're not alone. And it's amazing how far the word of mouth can go. You know what I mean? And that was the whole premise of it. You know, it's why we do it in the racing program. It's why you do it, you know, with Gunner's Choice, and even though we're talking weapons and stuff like that, we're doing it in a way where it's inclusive to them, let them know, hey, you can talk to us. It's
Absolutely.
you know, and get out of that element, you know. And so I think it's very important. And I the 988 thing that which you taught me about, those guys, they're on point, man. They're on point. You know, and our emails, you know, like you see right there, Gearheads of Guardian. Even if you wanted to go to info@relieffortroops.org, email us at the charity. We will get back to you. You know, Mark checks that email every day, and we can make sure that we get you help somewhere. The thinking that there isn't an avenue, or having it in your mind where you can't get any help, we can get you some help. So put it out there. Collaboration of curiosities, welcome.
Yeah.
Australia is in the house again.
That's right.
All the way from down under.
Right on, right on. She's cool as hell, man. She's good people, really good people. She's kind of like me. She don't, you know, you don't like me, bite me.
Right.
That's her
right.
attitude, you know. Good people.
Right. Yep.
So, but I do want to let y'all know though, January 9th, or not, I'm sorry, take that back. June 9th.
Mm-hmm.
June 9th, let me see if I can. June 9th at, I want to say it was 6 o'clock. I'm trying to find the text message here. Whoop. 6 o'clock, I think it is. Come on, where is it? I'm looking for, there it is. Right there.
Mm-hmm. Man, that was so fun last year that when we did that. You know what? If we can, we'll put on this video when we're done. We'll go ahead and put that link, you know, out there on Facebook, and we'll put it on the description of this. But that was so fun doing that last year, man.
Yeah, you know, the cool thing about it was is we got to meet the team. We got to hang out with all the vets that came in to watch the ball game. It was great. So
Yeah.
In June 9th, Seguin River Monsters playing at Smokey Joe Williams Field in Seguin, Texas. It's a collegiate team, and it's basically it's a collection of different kids from, I shouldn't say kids, young men from different schools, and they're playing on the Texas Collegiate League, right? But it's I think it's called TCL, if I'm not mistaken. But these kids, man, I mean, I call them kids, but I'm 50 some years old. But these college boys, they don't play by college rules. These are all MLB rules.
Yeah. Yes.
They don't play with metal bats and all that, where they ping and they hit home runs daily. No,
it's like the home for scouts.
Yeah. These young men are out there getting it, man.
Yeah. In fact, didn't last year they had two actually go play for the majors.
Yep,
so the major scout teams, it's like in between collegiate baseball league and during that time.
Yeah.
And right. So it's kind of like I want to say a summer league at an MLB, you know.
Like that, yeah. You can call it.
So yeah.
So if you guys get a chance, vets get in free. And if you've ever been to Smokey Joe Williams Field, it's a historic place, man. Smokey Joe Williams, he was one of the first black baseball players. You know, he didn't get the chance to play in MLB in the majors, but he played with some of the most well-known baseball players from way back. And I mean, they say this guy is the best pitcher to ever throw a ball. Smokey Joe, no kidding.
Yeah, that was really cool to take the car out there too, man. I mean, that was
a big deal.
It was fun, and they took a cool photo, like when they had everybody, you know, on the backside of the car. It was really a good time. Look forward to doing it again this year.
Yeah. I was looking for it, and I think I got it on something.
And that is Veterans Night. Let's make sure it is Veterans Night. So if you're a veteran, come on out, sign the car. And
also, the 31st of this month of March, they have an LEO. I think it's the 31st. It's an LEO night. So like the law enforcement, retired law enforcement, things like that. They're having a big to do because the Seguin River Monsters now have a new owner. Husband and wife bought it. They've got some I've talked to the owners a couple times, and they've got some just amazing things planned, some big things coming up. And if you're into baseball and you just you want to support a great team, and these kids are from all over Texas, not just this area, So if you really want to support a great thing, and they are the defending champs, by the way.
Hey, there's some badasses, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. These kids, even though they're from different states and they come down and do this, listen. These kids are studs. Like it's no joke.
Yeah, absolutely. So if y'all want to look for a good time for a Veterans Night, head on out to Smokey Joe Williams Field, June 9th. And I want to say it was 6 o'clock. Ain't that what I said it was? 6 o'clock.
Yep, 6 o'clock.
XM Radio. What the heck?
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah, Smokey Joe Williams Field, Sunday, June 9th, 6 p.m. It's 637 Midway, Seguin, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you find it. All right.
Yep.
If you have any questions on that, give me a shout. I can get you in touch with them. And if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember their website off the top of my head, but you can go in there and buy tickets in advance even.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just Google Seguin River Monsters and you'll find it. It's Seguin, in case you're wondering. Seguin.
Yep. Good time. Very good time.
You'll have a great time. And they're talking about these kids got a new tour bus. Yeah, I mean the new owners have just really put their heart and soul into it. God bless them.
Nice.
It's a great opportunity for these kids, and it's going to give them a chance to get noticed. To get these kids noticed in front of some big name people.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And it'll be cool. It'll be good for us too. I mean that from what it sounds like, the owners, want to, we get a chance to sit and meet with the owners and what have you not. And it'll be this could be a good opportunity to just get everybody on board, with our charities, especially through the River Monsters. I don't know. You never know what kind of partnership comes down the line with them. It's good. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. And then we had Cars and Coffee coming up on the 20,
what? It's next Sunday, the 24th, and I'm gonna go on a limb here. I should have the intake back by either tomorrow or Thursday and get it on the car. And if we get it back and bolted on and everything's good to go, we will be there with the car next Sunday, the 24th, for Cars and Coffee. If I got to push this thing, I will. I don't care, because we say we're going to do stuff and get it and make it happen, and it's racing. When you have mechanics, it's racing. But we will be there. If not, if for some reason it's not our car, Landon's car is ready to go. He raced it this last weekend, so we can take it out there and at least get a car out there. So it'll be nice.
And well done for Mr. Landon there last weekend.
Oh yeah, it was. He took a year off, and he got into him and his dad got into a crate late model program, and not bad for being a year off. We went down to Corpus a couple months ago, and he got a first run in there, learned a lot, and then the track was pretty heavy on the high side, and Landon he stayed there with them. Like nobody just ran away from the show unless they were the open motors. There was 2 open motors there that just pretty much left everybody. But as crate cars, they were all bunched up right there, and it was really good to see him in the mix and in time and learning how to adjust the shocks and everything, because it's way different than an open car. He's gonna be pretty fast. So everybody needs to watch out. The Iceman's coming.
Look out now. Cool,
Yeah.
cool. Now, is there any other? I feel like we have one more event we want to talk about.
So May 25th, there is going to be a charity event at the Shade Tree Saloon up in Bulverde, and that is put on by Fallen Raider Audio, and we're going to take the car up there. We're going to have a table so people can come and donate to our cause and sign the car and become members of Relief for Troops and Zalise, to get their hands on some CBD, try it out. So we're going to have an event May 25th. I'm not sure of the times yet. I want to say it's roughly around noon until later on, but don't get me to lying. We'll get that flyer out. But May 25th. That's going to be a good little fun time. They bring a band in and they have good music and good food. So looking forward to that too. Mm-hmm.
Now, for those of you that are into like shooting matches and things like that, I'm also a Glock Shooting Sports Foundation member, and they do have a match coming up March 23rd and 24th. Extreme Tactical Glock Shootout. Extreme Tactical Training Sports at 620 Great House Road, Waxahachie, Texas, 75167. Check that out. If you're looking to get into any kind of sport shooting, especially if you're a Glock owner, I highly recommend the Glock Shooting Sports Foundation, because I mean you have like the these higher sanctioned clubs that people shoot in, and the Glock Shooting Sports Foundation is more like for everyday Joe to go and experience what shooting's like, experience what it's like to compete. People there aren't going to be, hey, you suck, hey, get out of here. They're not going to do that to you there.
Yeah.
Okay, so if that's what you're worried about, GSSF is definitely not like that. Okay, but give it a shout. Give them a shout. Check it out sometime. If Glock Shooting Sports Foundation, highly recommend it. Give them a shout.
Nice.
But this week, we did say we're going to talk about triggers.
Yes.
We're not going to show you triggers. We're just going to talk about them.
Yeah. And
on YouTube, we're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, can't show knives, fire guns, and you know what? It was a simple mistake, and luckily they were
cool about it and told us.
They were cool. Mm-hmm.
But
they were cool.
Doesn't necessarily mean I agree with it, but
Yeah. So it was interesting that we're talking about triggers, because you and I, we had a conversation about it, and the thing about triggers that I'm glad you turned me on to, especially the triggers that you set us up with. I have bad arthritis in my hands, and my girlfriend has small hands, and the triggers that you set up have it. This is something that I think is something that people should think about when we're talking triggers, is the weight of a trigger and what have you not. So I just want to let you know that it shoots very nicely when you don't have to yank on it, and it's real sensitive. Not too sensitive, but it's enough where you can shoot repetitively if you got bad arthritis, and it doesn't, you're not wearing your finger out.
Yeah, and I didn't put any like a minus connector or nothing. That's straight Glock connector in both those weapons that I did for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So that says a lot, because like a stock Glock roughly will be about anywhere from 5 to 6 pounds,
mm-hmm.
give or take. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now my 21, just from doing polishing, which I'll go over that stuff in a little bit, but just from polishing it alone, took it down a half a pound.
Yeah. And some that
smoother. It was just smoother to shoot. So.
And something that's crazy about it too, I was thinking about it, the weight, right? So obviously the different size, yeah, it's, there's some that's heavier and there's some that's lighter, right? So I carry a 10 mil, and it's not a light weapon. So having the not having to hold a heavier weapon and not having to exert more energy to pull the trigger, and I say exert a lot of energy. It's I say that very loosely, but not, things can be, uh you can get very tired, right? Especially after range. Heavy weapon, you pull a trigger, heavy weapon, pull a trigger, heavy weapon, and pull a trigger. Having this trigger system on mine, um, has made it very, very carryable on the norm, because it is a heavier weapon. So, and I keep talking about the 50 cal, right? I really want that 50 cal rail, and that's a little bit heavier rail. So having a lighter trigger pull is it's controllable. Your arms are not as fatigued having to do two things at the same time. That's heavy.
Right. And see, a lot of things come from that. Could be like uh, a lot, even a lighter, not a, it's not a buffer spring, a recoil spring.
Yeah.
Even a light recoil spring will help with that. Okay.
Hmm.
You don't want to go too light because then that's defeating the purpose. You know what I mean?
Right.
But there's all kinds of ways you can do that. But sticking with just triggers right now,
Hmm.
polish those internals, polish the connector,
Hmm.
polish that cruciform, you know, get it to like a mirror finish. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I wish I could. Let me see if I can't. There's a brand that I like to use, and it's on Amazon. It's not real expensive, but it's a polishing compound, and I want to see if I can't. I wanted to
And
have
this
this
is all
all this.
stuff you can do. Like, this is all stuff a person can do. You don't have to be you don't
Yeah,
have to be a
you don't have
rocket
to be a
science to do
certified
this.
artist. Yeah,
Yeah. But every little adjustment that you make, um, and you know how I perceive some of this, you can actually adjust yourself out of what you truly want on the weapon too. It's kind of like the car. You can adjust yourself out of a setting because there's so many things you can do to it, right? Same way with the gun. Some people may not want a weapon that is so super smooth that it actually can be kind of uncontrollable for them, right? In the sense. So uh, my advice when doing this kind of stuff, do one thing at a time. Like, you only polished a couple things on ours. There's only I, you didn't really go into, the whole works. You know what I mean? And the difference, even just that made, was great. So do one thing at a time and get it to where it's comfortable, and where you don't feel you have to do more. Not to say you
right.
can't, but get it to where it's comfortable, because everybody's got a different comfort. I want the whole works on mine because mine's a little bit heavier weapon, right? Obviously. So you go in, and I want the whole shebang because I do have arthritis and I want to be able to shoot repetitively. And so I'm going to want you to do the whole thing, which I need to bring it over to you, and so you can do that. But
I will be
just,
squared away.
yeah, so just a peace of mind, just do one thing at a time. Like you just did the cruise.
I did the trigger bar, the cruciform, the trigger bar,
Yeah,
and then I did the connector,
right.
and then I put a different trigger shoe on it.
That's it. Yeah,
And that
yeah.
makes a huge
Huge
difference.
difference. Absolutely. And it makes it easier for people like my girlfriend that's got small hands. She has had carpal tunnel surgery and stuff, and it makes it easier for her to actually, you know, I'm gonna tell you right now, not everybody's got the strength to be doing this all the time. Waka waka, you know what I mean? So it really helped her out a lot too, to have that ability where it's easier to cock and load the weapon. Mhm.
Right. Well, I know I think on both of those too. I did polish the rails on those as well.
Yeah.
Polished. And that, and that's, one of them things where some people say it works, some people say it don't.
Hmm.
I'm like this. If it's smooth, it's gonna
So,
be a lot.
yeah.
The whole operation is gonna be smoother.
Yes.
Period. But
You
now
know.
this is the brand name I was telling everybody about right here. This Dilux.
Hmm.
This, but I don't. I use there's a gray bar and a white bar. Those are the only two you're gonna need.
Right.
You don't need the green, the red, the blue. You don't need none of that. You need the
Right.
white one and the gray one. That's the only two that you're gonna need. That's it.
You know what's crazy that I just thought about? There's we're talking about feel, right? We're talking about feel and the squeeze and fatigue in your hand when doing this. Um, I'm going to relate it to the new steering wheels that we have for the race car. Right? We have the new Max Pappas steering wheels, and I was turned on to it by Garrett Albison. He races with the World of Outlaws, or the Lucas Oil guys, and I was talking with him about his steering wheel, and he said, "Man, the grip, the way the steering wheel fits in your hands, a little bit thicker. It's actually smaller. It's not aluminum outside where it chews your gloves up." And he said, "My hands don't get tired." And it just dawned on me. You can do that the same. You can set your weapon up to be comfortable in the grip where you don't fatigue out. And these are the things internally that you don't see is what actually helps that out just as much. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm glad I am glad you did that, at least for hers, because it's a lot easier to manage, you know. And those magnetic holsters, right? that
Yeah,
that
yeah,
yeah, yeah, where you can have money, and they have enough force where you can rack it.
mm-hmm.
Even with having that, you don't have to use as much force to rack the weapon, so you're not tearing, you know what I'm saying, so you're not tearing things up by using those magnetic holsters too. So
Vehicles,
the
right,
polishing the trigger assembly and what you did is a game changer.
right. And I'd say, and that's step one. I mean, there's so much more that we can get into.
Yeah.
Heavier trigger springs, over travel trigger groups, things like that. All that. What I here now, I will say this, okay, and I don't want to say I'm partial to Ranger proof gear triggers, but I am very partial to Ranger proof gear triggers,
Hmm.
for a lot of reasons. Number one, they're just the best damn target or best damn trigger shoe there is, in
Right.
my God's honest opinion,
Right.
are none. Okay, they feel good. Yeah, he's got like they're all flat face triggers. Okay,
Hmm.
he has like matter of fact, let me scroll back over here and I'll tell you. They have like the Task Force Ranger, the Long Ranger, which is one I like, is the Long Ranger,
Hmm.
uh, the Hybrid Ranger, and then of course the Vex 3, the F3 that Johnny Glock uses.
Right.
Johnny Glock gets his triggers. Now, when Johnny gets them from here, he does more stuff. This Johnny Glock is like, I don't even know how to explain it. He's like a Glock god. He really is. It's amazing. He's like a mad
Yeah.
scientist when it comes to Glocks. The
Yeah.
guy, amazing. I mean, it's like the gospel according to Johnny.
But like anything else, when you take a passion in something, and
He's
he's
good
been,
at
but man, he's been doing this for even way before Glock
it.
came out, for years, you know. um and so, but those are the people where you want to listen. I don't think people I think people that want sidearms and conceal carry, and they're like, I want to conceal carry, and I want to be able to do this, and I want to be able to, protect my family and everything. There's a lot more that goes into owning a weapon if you're going to actively use it as such. You know what I mean? Even if it's just to go shoot sport shooting, that's all gravy. But make it so that it's comfortable to sport shoot. And we're also talking long barrels and shotguns. Shotguns are heavy. Right, shotguns are heavy. The AR-15, or the ARs and all that, they're a little bit heavier weapon, unless you got the composite
Sure.
stocks and everything like that. But those are still, I will tell you right now, the M16A2, the trigger pull on that, it was tough, and then it surprised you. And I'm telling you, day at the range, it got tired. Your hands got tired holding that thing. So things like this, man, is something that definitely people should be aware or think about. What can they do to improve their reliability, functionality. If you have, say, you're older, or you have issues with your hands, but you still want to be effective in defending and using your sidearm, this is the small stuff that makes the optics. Like the recoil. You and I talked about the recoil, or polishing everything up where everything is so smooth, even on the recoil, right? You put optics on, and you can't afford like some of the more higher end stable optics, but you smooth out what you can on this. It's going to make your optics not bounce out of, there's recoil, but there's still that smoothness where it's not such a jolt, when we're talking about this. So it's, I think you got it right, man, when you explained it all to me, because I never knew. I really never knew anything about that, to be honest with you, about polishing and everything like that. And when you did it, world of difference. And then it just makes you go, ah, these are all the ramifications of doing something like that,
Well, see, it's like the best way I can explain it is, remember when you get your very first car, right? Man, you had all these things, all these emotions and passions of grandeur and all these things, right? I'm going to put these new wheels on it, and I'm going to get these tires, BF Goodrich tires, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put a bad stereo. It's the same thing with a firearm, man. You take your firearm and make that firearm an even better firearm usually with simple little things, man. Little things like this will make a huge difference.
You have to put the time in too,
man. That's it. Polish, polish. Bar none, probably the most rewarding and cheapest upgrade you can do to your pistol, especially in a Glock.
Yeah.
Polish the trigger group, man.
Just polish everything in it. Yeah.
Polish that cruciform or trigger bar, whichever you want to call it. Polish that all up good, and polish that connector, because that connector, when you look at the connector, okay, there's like it's a flat piece, and there's like a little tiny shelf that sticks out. Then there's like I call it an ear tab. Okay, it sticks out, and it's got a hook on the end, right? What happens is that trigger bar is shaped kind of like, it goes like this, and then it has a rounded part, and it hits the back of that connector, that little ledge, and it pushes it down, which lets that striker fly forward and hit your primer.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, with that trigger bar and that connector, if you can keep them smooth and just like glass, then you're gonna the action itself, the trigger pull itself is gonna be like butter. It's just gonna be better shooting weapon for you.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
You can, and it's not just Glocks. I mean, you can do that with any gun.
Yeah. You can. You can. Revolvers might be a little bit. I think there's not as much to those.
Yeah. A little bit different. Yeah. But I'm not a revolver expert. Now, have I taken apart, tinkered with them, messed with them, broke them, had to fix them, put them back together, make them work right? Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But that's how I learn. That's how I learn. But, again, like I said, if you're looking to make a weapon shoot well, and again, we are talking about triggers. First, I want to talk about Ranger-proof gear. Okay.
Yes.
Ranger-proof gear. And this is this trigger right here. This is the Vex 3. This is the one that
those are the ones we've got.
Yeah, that's the ones that you and your better half have. Okay. This one, And then here's some of the other ones that they have.
Yep.
The Task Force Ranger. Okay. Now the Task Force Ranger, if you look here, these little like black spots right here, those are actually, you can actually see through those. That's makes it a little bit lighter. It makes it a little bit lighter. But these are all aluminum anyway. Okay. Yep. Now this is the Task Force Ranger. The Long Ranger, this is all one big cutout, one big hole right there. That's all one big cutout. Then the Hybrid Ranger, and then again, this is the Vex 3. And this is what I love about Ranger Proof gear. Okay.
Customizable.
Customizable is probably one of the big ones because you can get a plethora of colors, and they code them too. So that 100% American made.
Yep.
With 100% American materials by 100% American employees.
Aren't they? Isn't that a veteran company also?
Andy is a Army Ranger, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right now, and I think that's where the name of the company comes from. Is Ranger Proof.
Yeah.
Now, if you've been anywhere near military, you know everybody talks about special forces, the Rangers, the SEALs, da 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 da. They're trust me, they're tough.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
I'm not kidding. I've seen these guys do some crazy stuff, and that wasn't even in combat. I was like, imagine what those guys would do in combat.
Yeah.
Easy. Now.
Yeah.
Ranger Proof. Let's talk about that for a second. When they say it's a Ranger Proof, okay, if you can hand something to a Ranger and he uses it and it survives, that's Ranger Proof.
Yeah. Because they're not easy on their equipment.
No, not at all. I mean,
no, they're not. No.
And again, you know, Andy's a retired Army Ranger, probably one of the night. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm not even going to try to blow it up to what it's not, because that would be a severe injustice.
Mm-hmm.
But when I first started selling Ranger Proof gear triggers, okay, I sent him an email. It said, hey, I'm just kind of curious about, you know, and he sends me an email back. What's your phone number? That's all it said. What's your phone number? You know, or call me. And he gives me his number. So I just, real polite, called him up, left him a message. About 20 minutes later, not just, anybody, but the owner of the company called me, asked me, so what are you trying to do, man? I said, well, I'm trying, I'm going through some stuff physically, my shoulder. Okay. And, I just want to, make some money and support my family. That's what I'm trying to do. He's like, all right, cool. He goes, I'll send you an email later on, but that's the short version. We talked for probably an hour and a half, 2 hours, but, short version, he said, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. He said, in a little bit, you should be getting an email, or in the morning, you should have an email with, like password, yada, 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 all that stuff. I'm like, that's it? He said, that's it. You are now an authorized dealer. I'm like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. This guy calls me, or we email, or we text back and forth on a regular basis. The guy's amazing, super awesome guy. And, I only know of one other company, and they also sell triggers,
mm-hmm.
That called me up like that. Just called me up out of the blue and said, hey, what do you, what's going on? You want to sell? Yeah. It's like, he said, well, I'll need this, that's that, yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
Cool. Like, but the owner of the company called me.
Well, the thing is, veteran. That just goes to testament, and we're probably going to go a little off the track here, but that just is a testament of what we talk about veteran brotherhood. We're all out to help each other out, and those guys that actually are more fortunate and to be able to start the businesses like this and able to help veterans, because they understand that, the cost of the dollar compared to a little piece of equipment to at least, you know, help enhance someone's experience of their weapon or what have you not, or any business, if you will. They also look out for those that be like, listen, we're going to try to help you out, right? We're going to give you access to our stuff, where not everybody gets to do that. And that's just, that's veteran helping veteran. You know what I mean? That's exactly what that is.
Both of those companies I was telling you about are both veteran-owned companies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Wheaton Arms, super nice guy, man. Robbie Wheaton, and he actually has a channel here on Facebook too, or on YouTube as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Super awesome guy, man. And if you get a chance to meet him and just say hi, man, absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't. If you have the opportunity, take it. Talk to the man. Super awesome guy. I mean, I'd take a bullet for either one of them. They're a couple of great gentlemen. But back to Ranger Proof. This is the main reason why I decided that I wanted to get involved with Ranger Proof. If for any reason you do not like one of our products at any time, we own it. We will replace it or refund your money, period.
Mm-hmm.
No conditions, no caveats, no legal team with a paragraph of conditions you must meet.
Yeah. And you know what that also tells me is that they also know how good their product is.
Absolutely.
They also know what it is. It's not like,
it's by far not garbage. Trust me.
By far not.
By
far not. Oh yeah, I got two of them. Right. Oh yeah. And so, however, the fact that there may be that one person out there where it just doesn't feel right, or something's not, something not for them to be able to. Then what can we do to make it right? Because they have multiple ones on there for different feels and different, applications and what have you not, so yeah, that warranty, that's champ right there, man. And they stand behind it,
Absolutely. And as you can see, these are all flat face triggers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're all aluminum, nice roll pin, everything, the safeties are all has springs in them. These are not by any meaning of the word cheap. They are not.
No.
And I've seen other trigger shoes that were, comparable in price,
mm-hmm.
but were nowhere near comparable in quality.
Yeah.
Just nowhere. Just not a chance.
Yeah.
Now, what I will say this now, because I know Ranger Proof, love Ranger Proof. I have them on every single pistol I own. By far, bar none, the best trigger shoe I've ever used, ever, period. Okay?
Sure.
But now what I will say is there are other companies. Let me see if I can't find this real quick. Let me take this down. There are other companies out there, like Timney, Johnny Glock. He has,
mm-hmm.
It's like 200, I think it is, $200, somewhere in that area, plus or minus, because he has some that that have the whole cruciform trigger bar, the whole 9 yards, man. He does stuff for the Timney system. He does stuff for the Glock performance trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Some really good stuff. So check that one out too. Lone Wolf actually has a polymer trigger. It's not a Glock replacement trigger, but it's really close.
Yeah.
Okay? It's a few bucks. And I want to say, is it NDZ? Let me pull this up over here. See, that's why I came and got a hold of you earlier, so I could do this all one-handed and have all this stuff set up.
Yeah.
But let's see. Yeah, that's what I want right there. Come here. Okay, NDZ has a True Precision Axiom trigger shoe for Glock. Yeah, so they have one, and that's 112. I think it's Axiom. Suarez International has a trigger shoe. There's so many. Killer Innovations has a trigger, and if you're looking for something that's kind of different, they have a trigger shoe. It's just a weird shape, It's still
Yeah.
It's still considered a flat face trigger, but I'll show you real quick. Present.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing when picking these things out. If any of you are watching out there, that you have to. Preference is obviously going to be paramount on this, right? And unfortunately, you may have to try a couple ones, right, which costs a little bit of money to figure out which one works best for you. So just be prepared.
But
they're not too far off though.
Yeah, here's the thing. When you buy a trigger shoe and you're not sure if you like it, I promise you there's going to be somebody who's going to want to buy it.
Yeah.
I promise you. Because all you got to do is just stick it out there to the right people, feed it to the right people. They're going to eat it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Not everybody likes bratwurst and sauerkraut, but I damn sure do.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Somebody's going to buy it. I mean, so it's not going to be hard to get rid of a trigger shoe. That's something you'll never have problems with. But yeah, as you can see, this is the one from Killer Innovations right here. And you can see how it's, like I said, it is a flat face trigger, but let me see if I can't come over here and if I can get like the profile of it. Here, right there. You see how the face of the trigger kind of like rippled a little bit?
Yep.
Some people, they might dig that and think that's, great for extra, feel in their finger. Hey, if that works for you, by all means, buy 100 of them.
Especially if your hands sweat a lot. If your hands get sweaty, right? Hey, I mean,
that's another reason why I like Ranger Proof. Is if you look here.
Yeah, because they are textured, aren't they?
Yeah, as I was going to say, the Ranger Proof is textured.
Yep.
On the front, and even the safety itself is even textured as well.
Yeah.
You can see it real good on the Vex 3 right there. Right there. You see right here. See, that's even got all the hash marks all the way up.
Yep.
Even here you can see it. Yeah, they all there, but they all are. They do have that on the fronts of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's stop sharing that. Okay. Now, again, a big thing, if you're really wanting to get, and I didn't even get half of the stuff I wanted to talk about, but I could talk about triggers for days, literally.
Yeah.
But the big thing I want everybody to take away from this, okay? If you're new to having a Glock or any kind of striker fired pistol, or Ranger Proof sells for Glock only. Wheaton Arms has triggers for Glock as well. Now, there's other companies out there that have them for FN, CZ, everything, okay? If that's what you shoot, then by God, go find you one. If you have a question, give me a holler. I'll point you in the right direction. Absolutely. Okay? But the biggest thing I want people to take away from this conversation today, you don't have to go out and spend a fortune.
No.
Okay? You don't.
No.
You don't have to spend a fortune of money to get your Glock to shoot like awesome.
Yeah.
Or your Taurus or whatever the case. Okay? Simple things, man. A little Dremel tool, a little felt wheel, or a little felt bullet buffer wheel or whatever, and a little bit of that polish. You seen how fast it was? I did two guns by hand, not even with a
it didn't take long at all. About an hour.
I did both of them by hand. The same thing it is, you got to remember now when you're polishing these, like your trigger bars, cruciform, whatever you want to call it, the connector, everything, anything that you're going to be polishing on your Glock or your other pistol. Just remember when you're polishing that, you're creating a lot of friction.
Yeah.
So if you feel it start getting hot in one area, flip it around and do the other end. Let that other end cool off.
Yeah. Don't
You
warp
don't
anything. Yeah.
want it to warp or anything
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
Okay. Not only that, but even on I know at least on one of the Gen 5s that I did here recently, thank God it was my own. Um, polishing it, you can over polish these.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you start seeing little copper looking stuff. Stop.
Yeah, because there is a coating. There's the plating that you want to keep on there. Yes.
You want it to stay mirror solid chrome. That's what you want it to look like.
Yep.
Okay. Because I know I was trying to get every little bit that I could as shiny as I could, and I got it right on the top of that trigger bar where it hits the connector and it moves. That's where so it'll be all right though. It's like glass smooth still. I mean, I even got out. Let me show you what I got out to look to make sure. This is a little tool that I picked up. Little tool I picked up for when I'm doing polishing. They attach to your glasses.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So they magnify, and you can see everything. So now, if I even see just a tiny little dot, that's it, done.
Yeah.
So great.
It's important. It's important to keep those coatings on there
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to get rust. You're not going to get, you want everything to stay there, to keep the functionality correct. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want it there so that those coatings are there for a lot of reasons. For like rust, you don't want nothing to rust, obviously. Okay. Polishing them up like that, you're taking a lot of that coating off. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Want to make sure you're keeping your gun clean, things like that. Okay. Now, I've not experienced any rust on any of my Glocks that I've polished, so I can't say that it's there to keep rust away. But I do know that when I use the polish that I use, I go back over top with a little bit of flitz on top of that, just to get like a mirror polish on there. Plus, flitz puts a little bit of a protectant on there as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what I always do with mine.
Mm-hmm.
Save your money. You don't have to go spend a boatload of money. You can polish these yourself.
Yep.
It's not hard. Just take your time. And if you're concerned about, oh, what happens if I mess this one up? This is my stock Glock 1, blah, blah. You can buy trigger bars fairly cheap, online.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Fairly cheap. Connectors too. You can now. If I was going to polish a connector, okay, polish the one that came with the gun. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, if you're polishing a connector on a Glock, okay, remember, okay, if it gets hot, stop, move, okay, because that connector, it's at a certain angle, okay. You bend that one way too far, one direction or the other, your weapon will malfunction.
Yeah, you can't be messing with any of those internal warping or anything like that, because they're not. It's not thick metal in there. Like the whole trigger assembly in there is not really heavy duty metal. It's just you can bend that real easy.
Right. And that's why a lot of them you'll see some of the trigger bars, like even aftermarket ones, the trigger bars aren't completely smooth. They're straight, but they have like a bow to them. So it just adds a little bit more rigidity to it, makes it a little stronger. So, and that's why like your stock Glock triggers, you'll see they have like ribs in them, and that's just to keep them more rigid and straight.
Right.
But what was 1, 2? So I talked about the Deluxe polish, and Suarez International has trigger shoes, NDZ, Lone Wolf, Johnny Glock's trigger shoes. Now, I'm going to tell you, Johnny Glock, if you listen to anybody about a Glock, that's one of the guys you definitely want to listen to.
Yeah.
Johnny Glock is like, he's very passionate. He's
Hmm.
been for a long time. He's rubbed elbows with a lot of the Glock folks up there, and he's just damn good at what he does.
Sure.
And that's one dude I hope one day I'll get the opportunity to meet.
Yeah. Yeah. Years of wisdom with that man. Years of wisdom. He knows more. He's probably got every part number memorized to every single model too. I mean, it's funny. We do the same thing with race engines. I've got a lot of part numbers that we constantly use all the time memorized, but it's the same thing. I mean, he's been doing it for eons.
Right. Now, I know one trigger that I didn't touch base on, and I'm trying to see. Okay, I'm just gonna really, because we only got like 4 or 5 minutes left. But Timney triggers, okay, Timney trigger shoes and Timney trigger groups. They're just, I mean, and they do not just Glocks. I mean, they do hunting rifles, like competition guns. I mean, they do a lot, and they do make a trigger system for a Glock pistol, but they do like hunting rifles and just everything, man.
Mm-hmm.
Triggers, just, I mean, awesome stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, Johnny does some stuff with their stuff too. He uses their stuff, kind of improved it. And but Timney triggers, if you how do I want to put that? If you are like mechanically inclined and you're not like new to handguns, Timney is definitely one you want to look at too.
Sure.
They're like super adjustable, and just, I mean, you can do so much with them. Okay. But again, that's why I like Ranger Proof so much, because just that trigger shoe, okay, takes up a bunch of pre-travel already.
Oh yeah, it was a night and day difference when you put that on.
Yeah, you noticed it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just the trigger shoe.
Mm-hmm.
That's punching the pin out, putting a new pin in with a new shoe. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's that minute. I mean, if you look at it, you wouldn't. You have to actually study the shape of it. But it was it totally made it a lot. It made the response of pulling the trigger a lot different.
Because you have there's hardly any pre-travel.
Correct. I mean, it's right there. So you need to know it's right there. So you go to squeeze.
Be prepared.
Be prepared. It's going to go boom. Yeah.
Right. It's boom time. But again, that's something that I'm going to start looking into myself. I want to buy a couple trigger shoes from Ranger Proof.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple ideas that I got in my head that I want to try, and just to see if I can get a little bit more dialed in. We'll say.
Sure.
We'll see. But yeah, again, like I said, Timney triggers. Especially if you're a competitive shooter, man, by all means, abso-freaking-lutely take a look at Timney. Okay. But if you're like a Glock purist, they have the Glock Performance trigger system. It's basically Glock's version of the Timney without all the adjustment bullcrap.
Yeah. Okay? But a lot of that's
pretty much just drop in.
Yeah, but some of that's really more made for the competition stuff.
Sure.
That's
precision shooting, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't want to be rude. I'm so sorry. But yeah, the Timney triggers, what I really would like to do one day is get that the Timney trigger group, okay, but put a Ranger Proof gear trigger on it.
Mm-hmm.
The trigger shoe. That's what I want to try.
Sure. Yeah,
You know,
combination, and everything's interchangeable like that too. I mean, it's,
a lot of it is,
you know,
yeah, a
you
lot of it.
you can, you can definitely make it your own the way that you want to make it. It's just research. It's research this to research that, because each little piece has its own distinctive, mark, and you can make a combination out of anything.
Exactly, exactly. And like for me, I found what works good for me. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, does
Hmm.
that mean I just stop look? I'm not going to look anywhere else. Absolutely not, because you know what? It might be good. Can I make it better?
Right.
And that's what I'm searching for. I want to see if I can make it better. And if I
Yeah.
can make that better, then can I make that even better than
Hmm.
before? So um,
And it
making
also builds confidence in your weapon too.
exactly.
Especially if you're in a concealed carry situation, right? You're really tailoring a weapon to everything about you. It's, trigger squeeze to spring pressure to grip size, so that it is literally part of your body, and you're
Yeah,
comfortable using it. You know what it's going to do. You know what it's not going to do, and when you train with it and you have it set up that way, it's only going to make you more effective, whether you're defending or competition shooting or just out there, at the range. So
absolutely, absolutely.
yeah.
So again, that was just a quick rundown on triggers. Um, if there was a trigger that you want us to talk about,
Hmm.
shoot an email. Um, Shoot us an email anytime if there's a trigger you want us to know about, or hey, have you guys check this out, or things like that. Shoot us an email. Let us know. Send us the
Hmm.
information, and we'll take a look at it too. We'll put it through the paces and see. Especially this summer, once I get done with this, and things start picking up a little bit. We're gonna do some shows from the range or
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm
tour
looking forward to doing that.
things like
Yeah.
that. And be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun, and you can actually see what we're doing and um, see how things actually work.
Hmm.
How
Hmm.
things are by doing little minuscule things.
Yeah.
Like I can even try to I could try to create a fault, like I was talking about with the connectors being you know off angle a little bit one way or the
Hmm.
other. That can cause a malfunction, and I we go out there, I can show you that too.
Yeah, and replicate it. Hmm.
I got tons of old Glock connectors.
Yeah.
I'm sure I could do that with no
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
But
I'm, like I said, there's a lot more things that I want to do to ours, but the trigger and the comfortable trigger squeeze, definitely was a
well,
big plus. Yeah.
definitely when we get a chance, I would like to look into um, the Glock performance trigger for you guys.
Hmm.
Uh, it's a lot less BS, than what I had to go through.
Right.
Now, do I like what I did? Absolutely, I love it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it took a long time to get that adjustment right. To where it was just right. Now, could I have just cranked it a couple times, left it? Yeah, I could have done that.
Hmm.
What's the fun in that?
Yeah.
you know.
No, you're absolutely right.
So I just I went through it and and just took my time and did it. You know, because you know how I am. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a perfectionist, but if I can dial it in just right,
Yeah.
and
And again, it goes back to what you're going to use it for too.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, I'm
Hmm.
not going to conceal carry my 17. I tell you that right now. Not with
Yeah.
a 2-pound trigger pull. Hell no.
Yeah.
No. Now my 19 or my 45 or my 21, absolutely, I'll conceal carry those all the time.
Yeah.
But not that 17. That 17 just that's that's going to be one of my comp guns. You know what I mean? That I'm not gonna
Sure.
so that'll be one of my comp guns. And so I'm looking now. I don't know yet because I was hung up on that Glock 34. Now I'm hung up on that Glock 17 long. But the thing with
Yeah.
that 17 long, but they're rare. You don't find them very often.
Yeah.
You know, so my thing is, okay, what parts are going to be readily available
Mm-hmm.
like that? Am I going to have something that's easily to obtain? You know, I mean, I'm not one to put new slides on and all that crap. I'm not. You know, is it cool? Does it lighten it up? Sure. Does it make it a little faster? Sure.
Right.
But I should be able to take my gun and do whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just do the internals like that, and I should be able to go out there and just rock the world with it. You know what I mean? That's
Mm-hmm.
how I see
Mm-hmm.
it. But again, guys, it is almost 10 after. Um, God bless y'all. You know, thanks for coming in and watching us. If you're catching us on the flip side, make sure you like and subscribe.
Subscribe. Yes.
Absolutely. Like, subscribe. You know, and when you do that, make sure you give us a thumbs up on the videos. And let's see, where did it go? I wanted to tell you. Oh crap, I can't find it. Anyway, like, subscribe. Okay, hit that little bell.
Comment.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, comment. Send us some comments on stuff. You know, if you want us to, hey, talk about this, talk about that. Have you ever tried this? Have you ever tried that? Absolutely, give us a shout anytime. You know, email us right there at gearheadsandguardians@gmail.com. Let us know what your thoughts are. Constructive criticism is nice.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't be
Absolutely.
rude. Don't be rude though, because I mean,
Yeah, because then we'll turn you off.
I'll talk bad about you in front of everybody.
I know, we've seen us do it.
I've seen me do it. But for real though, guys, look, triggers super easy. You know, maybe one day once we figure out what we're allowed to do, what we're not allowed to do, maybe I'll get some parts, just the part. I won't show you how to put it or anything like that, but I can get that part and show you, before and after, what they look like, how to do it, things like that. Super easy. Especially if you already got a Dremel tool already, you can go on Amazon and buy those little felt wheels, like the little felt bit,
the polishing wheels. Uh-huh.
the little bullet type ones, different sizes, whatever, and even the little cloth wheels. And you put a little jeweler's rouge on that thing and go to town, man. It's not hard, And
Yeah,
you can
customize it.
Yeah, you can get that jeweler's rouge. Like I said, you only need the gray and the white. That's the only ones you really need, and you can use those two. They'll cost you maybe $10 or so for those two, and then you can go spend another $20 and get a boatload of those little polishing wheels.
Yeah,
I spent $40, and I have like a box full. I mean, a full of these polishing wheels. So if you need your Glock polished and you're in the Seguin area, come by. Let me know. I'll do it for you.
You can make that happen. Yes.
I'll make that happen for you. No problem. I'll send you down the road to that nice Italian place. Get you something to eat. When you're done, your stuff will be ready to go. But yeah, it's super easy to do. Trigger shoes. That I wish I could say that Ranger Proof Gear is the trigger shoe that will fix every problem you have. Unfortunately, I can't make that claim. It fixed everything for me. Fixed everything for Onitro there.
Yeah. But it may not fix it for you. Yeah.
It might not work for you.
Yeah, okay? You might have to try things out, man. Experimentation is like with anything else, it just you just have to take the time. It's an investment.
Absolutely. So was there anything you wanted to put out?
No, just race season's upon us, really busy, and it's only about to pick up, especially with maintaining the car. We got lake trips coming up, Father's Day weekend, and then at the lake. So just so much planned. We are going to try if we're going to shift gears here, once I got the car squared away, there's some things that we're going to be trying with the GoPro. Get some live feed. Try to do some Facebook Live from the car. It was really cool. Race On, that does the streaming services here in the Texas area. They have a community now, and you can actually go on there and chat. And a couple of guys were in the community in their car chatting from the car under caution. And so I'm not sure that was legal, but there's just so many cool things that I'm looking forward to that we're going to be able to bring to the fans and to the racing community. I'm just excited, man. I'm anxious. The demons and gremlins have to go away at some point. We've but yeah, we've got a lot coming up, and we're very excited.
Way cool, way cool. So there you go, guys. I-37 Raceway. Check them out when you get a chance. Also, don't forget Seguin River Monsters. The 31st of March is the law enforcement officers' night over at Smokey Joe Williams Field. And also June 6th is going to be a Veterans Appreciation Night. Come on out, check us out. The car will be there for that night. I'll be there. Drew will be there. We'd love to meet you guys. And, it'd be nice just to hang out maybe, and talk shop, or, if you're a vet, just come by and say hi, man, and we'll, shoot the poo, That'd be great to meet you. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And anytime, like I said, Cars and Coffee next Sunday. Yeah, we will. I will put a video out for Cars and Coffee, to let everybody know we're going to be there. So, and look forward to maybe on one of these functions or one of these things, we go ahead and do a live podcast from where we're at. We just shoot the breeze at the event that we're at. Maybe have a couple guests on, just some things that we've got coming up. So I'm looking forward to it.
Way cool. It'll be awesome. So as I was talking about last couple weeks, been trying to do like a motivational thing at the end of the show, okay? And April of 2016 was almost one of my last days on this planet. I literally died twice that night. Smashed my face and got a little brain damage out of it. Almost lost my right leg. Okay. Hasn't been easy. I'm still dealing with problems from that accident. But what I will say this, it gave me a lot of time to do a lot of thinking, a lot of soul searching. And I know some people don't like to hear it, but it's a big part of my life and I want to share it. God has become a big part of my life. Am I a perfect Christian? Absolutely not.
I don't think anybody is. Yeah. Nobody's perfect. Yeah.
Okay. I have a faith in the good Lord, and I believe in him, and I believe he can do anything he wants whenever he wants, So and then with our big thing is too, it's suicide awareness for veterans,
yeah.
Not just veterans, but
it's anybody that can relate to the issue, right?
Exactly. So I always wanted, like I said, my big thing is I've been trying to do a motivational thing at the end of the show. And this week I picked out a verse from Joshua 1:9. Okay. It says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong, be courageous. Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed. For the Lord, your God, is with you wherever you go." That's why I'm always telling people, you're not alone. You're never alone.
You're never alone. Yeah.
He's always
there. I'm one of those. It's taken a long time. It's taken the right influence. My girlfriend, Bubba, and the guys at the the family at the shop, and without taking a syringe and injecting it into my veins, right? But there's been things uh, that have happened to me personally, that there is there is a light to everything, and he is that light.
Amen.
If you, especially after my wreck, cancer, you know, uh, even through jujitsu, samurai were still Christian, right? They weren't, they didn't pray to Buddha. Buddha was a guy that it's, that big misconception, but they were all faithful people. And I've learned that, um, as uncomfortable as it may seem to let the Lord in and do his work to you, it's also very comforting to know that things happen that probably wouldn't happen any other way, without him. And that's, I've grown to believe and understand that. I'm still way out in my journey with him, right?
Mhm.
But I will have to agree that there's many times that I probably shouldn't be here, and there's a reason why I am. And it's not just because I got lucky, right? Luck, some of the
There's
stuff, luck just doesn't happen, So, um, yeah, totally agree with you, man.
right on, right on. The last thing I want to put out there too, um, again, because I've you and I both huge heart for vets. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Been through a lot of trials and tribulations ourselves. You know what I mean? Mentally, physically, in just different aspects of our life. You know,
Hmm.
and one thing you have to remember, okay, is that I'm always telling people, you're not alone. You're not alone. You're never alone. God's always with you. You
Yep.
know, you got two guys right here that has an email. You can email us anytime. There's people you can talk to. Okay, we
Yeah.
care, we really do. And we're fun
Yes.
guys too. So I mean, hey, we can, whatever. But the thing I want you, the last thing I really want you to take away from all of this today, okay? Sometimes when things look really bleak and it's like you're just in this really horrible dark place, okay,
Hmm.
and you can't see the light. You can't see the light. Where's the light? There is no God. There is no God.
Yeah.
Guess what? Okay, God's trying to show you something.
Hmm.
You know why you don't see the light? Because you are the light.
Hmm.
You got to be out there to help somebody else too.
Yeah. And that's one of the big rewarding things about what we've been doing. Listen, if we reach one person, we've done our job. We've met our goal. You know, um, it's funny. I got told at work this a couple of days ago. There's an Air Force veteran that I work with, and
Okay.
he doesn't believe in charities. The reason why he doesn't believe in charities is he believes that they're all frauds, and that they all are not what they say that they are. And he and I actually had a talk, and I grabbed one of my, because I have one of our new 1X
Nice.
tumblers as my coffee cup, um, and I said, so if would you give me $25 to a veteran charity for this, knowing that it goes to a veteran? He said, no, I wouldn't do it. Straight out said, no, I wouldn't do it, because he thinks all veteran charities or all charities are frauds at some point. And I told him, I said, here's the deal. That kind of mentality, right, is why things that happen to others that could have used help, um, will always make you feel like you're either left out, or that's your comfort zone to where you don't have to deal with people. And there are people out there that don't have that are veterans, that do not believe in charities. I work with one, and it got to a point where I had to. He's like, well, who does all the treasury, and who handles all the money, and who does all this? Where's all the money going? I said, you're looking at the guy that does all of it, and I have a full-time job. And he was like, oh, well, maybe there is, maybe there is some that out there that are like true legit. I said, yeah. So you can't sit there and peddle your beliefs on everybody thinking that it's not real and that they're all out to, have their own agenda to make their own money.
You're
And
right.
that is part of the things that I have learned through this journey. And I say all that to say this: everything that we're doing um, feels right because I feel that this is what you were meant to do, and not everybody's going to understand that. And as long as you believe on why do what you do, that's all that matters.
That's right.
And we got to get the veterans out there that feel alone to understand that also. There's a reason why you're here. There's a reason why you're going through this. And we're going to go through it with you together so you can see that the outcome is actually for a purpose. And so I think that's how I've gathered this light that I've been shown through everything that I've been through on why this feels so good, why it's so important to me that we do what we do. So he's worked on me a lot myself. Like I'm probably one of the least guys I was hard, and I
Oh, I
still
know.
am on some things, but you can't discount the proof that happens to you. Can't do it. You can't take away from it.
Amen. Amen. So with that being said, it is now
Hmm.
well past our time. With
It
that
is.
being said,
Yes.
like 21 minutes over. But listen, um, anytime, drop us a line,
Yes.
gearheadsandguardians@gmail.com. Questions you want to ask us. If you have like, hey, have you guys tried, this motor oil? Have you tried, running this in your car?
Hmm.
Have you tried, doing this with your pistols? Have you tried this ammo? Anything like that.
Hmm.
If there's something you'd like us to cover, email us and let us know. All right. I check that mail at least once a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the time.
Unless I've had doctor's appointments like a day like today,
Hmm.
I literally came home and tried to get everything set up. I'm calling my son ahead of time.
Yep.
Get the laptop out. Get the laptop out. Set it up.
Yep.
So those days, far and few between, but it does happen. So, but I
Yep.
do check those emails. Um, and 988, you guys have any problems and we can't get to you, or we, can't do this or can't do that, or you just don't feel comfortable talking to two knuckleheads like us,
Yeah.
you can just call 988, option one, man.
Yep.
Somebody's there to help you regardless. Okay. Regardless.
Yeah.
Again, don't forget, we care. God bless you. Take care of yourself. June 9th, Seguin River Monsters will be there. All right. Cars and Coffee this Sunday. What was the
Next
address?
Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Next
And
Sunday,
that
the 24th. Cars and Coffee.
Cars and Coffee. That's on
Hmm.
Babcock, right?
On Badcock.
Babcock
Yep.
Road.
Detail Garage at Babcock.
There you go. So with that being said, folks, y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for allowing us to, spend time with you. And don't forget, we're always here. And I feel like I'm forgetting something. Black Dog Designs. If you're wanting something really nice
Hmm.
for your home, anything like that, he's a veteran. He does carpentry for like therapy,
Hmm.
and the guy's super talented. Check him out. Don't be afraid.
And
Tell him Chuck from Gearheads and Guardians sent you. He should be able to
hmm
get you real good. All
and
right.
Duchess decals. Sam Walker, local racer. She's very good at vinyl work. So Duchess decals, relief for troops .org. And if you go to Zalise, it's shopus.zalise.com/RF or 4 RF4 troops. Um, that is the landing page for our ambassadorship for the charity. So reach out, go check it out.
There you go. And there's also the relieffortroops.org link
Hmm.
right there. And if you're looking for gear,
Yes.
Gearheads and Guardians gear right there, my friends.
Yep.
You can grab that. And I believe that is it for tonight, y'all. Take care of yourself. God bless
Have a
y'all.
good one.
And look, stay safe and drive fast.
Yeah. Yeah.